Good morning. I am Coimbatore Tirumular Sittarpidam Sri Sri Sivaraja Yogi speaking. Now the topic I am going to speak about is Swedenborg relives in Elianor. Snor. Swedenborg, who is that Swedenborg? Swedenborg is a scientist and later turned into a philosopher. So, scientist turning into philosopher is very important because the so-called science is a material science. But once the scientist gets mature in his brain activity, mental activity, he will become a scientist in spiritual science. So, spiritual science and material science should go together. Ancient and many other scientists have also told like that. Science without religion without science is bigotism. If you don't apply science to religion, and if you blindly follow religion, it is called bigotism. That is, you are not suspending your reasoning power and following whatever is there in the text. The text might have been written by the prophets or might have been modified in the later time also. But you should apply your reasoning power. Many religions don't allow that. They ask you to follow it blindly. That cannot be accepted. But 2 and 2 make 4. That is mathematics also a science. But if the religion says 2 and 2 is 5, you cannot accept. But they asked, you should follow. They asked that he told, that told. So, science, spiritual, material science and spiritual science should go together hand in hand. But what happens sometimes they say science without religion is lame. Because that is the spiritual science and the material science should go together, otherwise it is lame. One is not perfectly continuing, progressing. These are the subjects told by leading scientists. So, what happened is Swedenborg, having been a scientist, naturally he entered into the spiritual science. He is born as a Christian, but the spiritual science is above all religions. Spiritual science is above all religions. The spiritual science, there is no separate spiritual science for each religion. It is a common subject. So he entered into the spiritual science. He wanted to see what is the governing force. What is God means G for generation, O for operation, D for dissolution, not destruction. People in the Western field think D stands for destruction. That word destruction should be removed from the dictionary because you cannot destroy energy. Energy can neither be destroyed nor be created, but can be changed from one form to another. So you should replace the word destruction by dissolution. Only dissolution, transformation from one stage to another stage is happening. And actually nothing you can destroy. You cannot create even a hair. You can cut the hair, throw away, but you cannot create a hair. So this is that. So in the later stage, Swedenborg entered and embarked upon the spiritual science, and he put his observations. And when he put the observations, at that time people are not able to understand because it is not in line with the biblical advice. It is not in line with the biblical chronology. It is not. Then people, what is this? Only few people accepted him, and they were not generally the general masses, the general public cannot digest it because whatever happens when a scientist comes, when Aristotle came, when Plato came, when all these intelligent prodigies came, the common people cannot digest them very easily. So what happens is, at that time, because he was born in a time, maybe if Swedenborg has been born after now, or 21st century, 20th, 21st, people could have could have understood him. Because the spirituality is above religion. Spirituality is above religion. So if a person, religious person, who is involved in religious activities, he is observing the religious practice of any person, any religion in which he was born. And when the fathers or the mother compel them to take the particular field, and they are compelled to, just like blindfolding, they are following. So the scientist, when he got jnana, he thought looked beyond the religions. So a person, religious person, when he looks beyond the religions, when he throws away, he cuts the blows up the religious barriers, he is called a Siddha. Okay, Siddha. Siddha means that he has crossed all Siddha. Siddha means is a portion of your mind. So no religious bondages, no restrictions, no social restrictions can bind him. Bind is free thinker. He is a free thinker. So Siddha is a free thinker. His thinking is not bound down by religious or rituals or a set of principles or some what we call printed books. So Swedenborg is like that, and he put forward his observations. So when he put forward the observations, it was new to these people there, but it coincided with the Saiva Siddhanta philosophy. So Saiva Siddhanta philosophy is already there in Tamil Nadu, and Saiva Siddhanta philosophy 14 texts, philosophical texts, and the history of 63 Nayanmars, lot of things are there. Actually, Swedenborg was propounding the essence of the Saiva Siddhanta. Later, it was confirmed by Shetty and all these things. So, the innate knowledge which evolved from Swedenborg is that of this Saiva Siddhanta knowledge, Shiva philosophy, and what is Atma, how these principles are there, and all these things. So, how this knowledge, which is already prevalent in Tamil Nadu, which is surged in Swedenborg, might have been he had been a Siddha in the previous birth, might have been he had been a Siddha in the Tiruvannamalai or Himalayas. So, knowledge, once a knowledge gained in one birth, it will transcend, it will prevail for 8 births. Tirumular Siddha, this Tiruvalluvar Siddha says, ஒருமைக்குள் தான் கற்ற கல்வி ஒருவருக்கு எளிமையும் it can cross even 7 births. So Swedenborg, even though he was born in the Christian community, he could find out and propound jnana, which is already there in Tamil Nadu. The glimpse of it is there, he got, and he put that in the Christian community. Most of the Christians could not understand, and now it is time the Swedenborg relives in Elianor. Because Elianor has embarked upon the study on Saiva Siddhanta and Tirumandram and all these things, and she could understand the real philosophy behind this Swedenborg, and the Swedenborg church relives. He has started because Swedenborg started living, he relives in Elianor, and Elianor relives the Swedenborg church. Okay, this is she is my one of my students, and I could explain Saiva Siddhanta philosophy Tirumandram for her. She is actually a genius with this painting caliber, and she can write poems, and she is already social worker, and she is a religious and spiritual seeker, and she is a spiritual teacher. and he can very well handle the and go ahead with the Swedenborg church. So it is a better opportunity for the community to understand and they get to the essence of Swedenborg's knowledge through Elianor. I request you to follow her and I wish well for her. Thank you.